Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. So good evening. Today is 18th of September, half moon day. So Ajahn Amaravati had to attend the funeral ceremony at St. Albans Cathedral. So he probably just returned now. So it's for Her Majesty the Queen, the late Queen. She passed away on the 8th of this month. So the same day that we had the funeral for George Sharp, one of the very prominent, important figure in our community. So the same day in the evening, Her Majesty the Queen passed away. Very important figure in this country and very well known all over the world. So it's very moving to see so many people gathering to pay respect to her from all over the world. I'm of the age of her grandson, but seeing so many people respecting one human being is not a little thing nowadays. So many people, thousands, millions of people gathering, not thousands, millions of people gathering. And I read news sometimes and people's reflections on gathering to pay respect to her final days. They were explaining how peaceful and how meditative the environment, the atmosphere of these gatherings. So people were chanting and sharing their stories and quite on its own organic way. It has kind of built into a little very temporary community around Westminster, London. People sharing their thoughts and reflections and just to pay respect to this one remarkable human being, in my way of thinking. So, and people from all over the world, even from where I'm from, Sri Lanka, so all over the world, so people gathering. It's very... Today would be her last night of people being able to see it. So tomorrow there will be a state funeral for the late Queen, Her Majesty. I think a few days after she passed away, I happened to read some news on BBC. Something very, very reflective, striking word that she had said to her children went through my mind. It really striking, very reflective reflection from her. So I thought I would choose that as my kind of topic for today. I think one of her children mentioned that so people were asking, how do you cope with the loss of your mother and her children, or one of her 4 children? And one of the children said, well, our mother used to say always, love, care is very beautiful, love is nice, but there's a big price to pay for love. And she always used to say, the big price for the love is grief. So I think one of her children said, because she gave that reflection a few times earlier on, the price for the love is grief. So they said, we are very thankful that she reminded that before she passed away. And they said, as much as we loved her, this grieving period, this grief for her, is part of the process of life. So we are grieving, but we are experiencing something that we never experienced before in terms of losing. Lost our father, but she frequently said that. They said part of existence is grief. So we all we all like the positive. We think love, happiness, joy. They are the positive ones. The grief, loss, unhappiness, they are negative ones. So we separate, this is positive, this is negative, but it's like we always like the best bit, nice bits. When we choose something we like, beautiful, nice, healthy, juicy, nutritious things, but not very nice, not looking very good, and so we choose things, but life is not about always being happy. Life is not about always being joyful, always getting what I want, or always feeling the love. So when we choose what we like the late Queen said, always remember the price. We choose what we like, we choose what is beautiful, we choose what is joyful, but at the same time, when we choose that, it's a good reflection to remind ourselves, the best bits, the nice and pleasant things that I choose in my life. Of course, they're nice, but there's a price to pay one day. So remembering, if we choose what we like, remembering and reflecting with the price that we have to pay, actually it becomes something of, again, we don't lose anything. We lose our loved ones, but if we know this love, this attachment will have a price one day, and when we lose that, and that price, we already knew that we had to pay one day, and we are ready for that, and we can learn from that. When you buy something, there's price to pay. The whole life is about paying a price. We get born into this world, and we feel strong, we feel young, and we are strong and beautiful, but that all has a price to pay. So if we don't realize, if we are not ready or reflect on the price that we have to pay, the paying part becomes more unpleasant, and we struggle a lot, and we struggle to pay. So the youth, for example, we all like being young, strong, and bouncy and beautiful, but it comes to the peak, and slowly, and the body ages, the life ages, And that aging process is the price that we pay for being young and being born. And we get ill, we feel sick sometimes, we get ill. Being ill is the price that we pay for being healthy, being strong. But we have to pay that price. So, yeah, I was reflecting on this topic most of the time to the late Queen, actually. So I never thought that before. So she gave me such a wonderful reflection on life. So I'm glad that her children spoke about this. So how to be prepared to pay the price of something that we like. So, and it very much resonates with the Buddha's teaching. Buddha's teaching is very much the same philosophy. Like Ajahn Amaravati reminded today, Dhamma is, there's no special thing as Dhamma, but Dhamma is what the aging is Dhamma, being born is Dhamma, impermanence is Dhamma, Paticcasamuppada, like deep Dhamma, like Paticcasamuppada is Dhamma. Everything is Dhamma. Dhamma is the way it is, how world functions, how it works. That's the Dhamma. So being able to accept what exists, in fact, now or one day or later, what exists becomes something non-existent, becomes something doesn't exist anymore. That's how the nature of the Dhamma. So that's why we, the Buddha always, he frequently, his teaching is not based on something esoteric, something cannot be seen, or something very mysterious. Buddha's teaching is not a mystery. It's about here and now, what exists. And it's about suffering, very interestingly. Buddha's teaching is based on dukkha, the suffering. There's no other philosophy, no other religion we could see that's based on dukkha, suffering. So why the Dhamma is based on Buddha's teaching is based on dukkha and suffering? Actually, there's nothing exists. He taught what exists. He didn't create any Dhamma. He didn't create something that doesn't exist, something mysterious in the world. So there's a very mysterious thing in the world called Dhamma that you have to realize that that's not the Buddha's teaching. He based his teaching on dukkha, the suffering, the grief, the suffering. Suffering is not about what we think, crying or anything. It's part of it. But why did he build his sasana, his dispensation, his teachings on dukkha? It's all about the origin of dukkha and the end of dukkha. Buddha said, what I taught all the Buddhas in the past, what they taught only the arising of the dukkha and the passing away of the dukkha. And as the Buddha now, the Gautama Buddha, he said, only thing that I speak, I talk, I teach you only arising of the dukkha and the passing away of the dukkha, because nothing else can be found in this existence. This existence is about arising of the dukkha and passing away, cessation of the dukkha. So that's nature. That's not something mysterious. There's no mystery in it. But if you get closer to the clarity of your mind, when the mind becomes clear and clear, what you can see, everything that arises within oneself, within yourself, has no any substantial. There's no anything to hold on to. But we have this habit of clinging. The mind has a habit, a natural habit of clinging. Sometimes we cannot find a reason. Sometimes it just clings, it's clinging. So, a while ago, I was kind of entertaining a thought in my mind, perhaps in my reflection or meditation, about luxury in life. Luxury is not external luxury, but any meaningful luxury. We talk about luxury, having luxurious place, luxurious objects fulfill your life. That's the general conception, idea. But I thought, what is luxury? So, what does it mean to live in luxury? So then I thought, what is opposite of luxury? Is there anything opposite of luxury? Yeah, that's the dukkha, the palpitation in the heart, dukkha, feeling the loss, feeling the need of something, unfulfillment. Heart is not complete, heart is not full, heart is always looking for something, affirmation, being stamped, you are good, you're doing okay, you're doing right, you're beautiful, you're great. So heart is looking for something. It's like an endless river flowing to an abyss, no end. Yeah, I thought, this craving for something, this craving to get something, to become someone, to be somebody, or to do better, it's like a disease in mind. So that is the opposite of luxury. I was reflecting, there's this need of, even it could be even enlightenment. I need to be enlightened. I want to be enlightened. I want to be free. My life, I want to be free of all defilements and feel eternal love and compassion. Still need. So any need that. So why is this need for something limits my movement, my joy, live freely, happiness or comfort? So then I thought, what is the opposite of, we were talking about the opposite of luxury. Then I thought, okay, if I want to live a luxurious life, live luxury in myself, within myself, the way to find the luxurious life is improving or developing my skill of letting go. It's hard, it's difficult, it's shaking sometimes, when we find something that we like, we cannot let go. It's shaking, it's the body reacts when we want to let go of something. Mind reacts. Yet, I thought, if I want to really live luxurious life, live what I mean as luxury, in well-being in myself. We always chant the well-being in myself. What is well-being in myself? Or what is being luxurious in myself? Is being able to let go of clinging, being able to let go of clinging. This clinging tosses me all around the places. At times you feel stupid, and sometimes feel embarrassed, and sometimes feel lack of confidence, sometimes anger, jealous, and restlessness. All these, as we call, defilements, or that which are against or opposite of luxurious life, always overtaken by those opposite of luxurious life. So I thought, okay, the best word, the best remedy for luxurious life it's nothing to do with anybody. It's nothing to do with anybody. Even if the whole world says you're the worst guy in the world, you are just trash, you're just rubbish. It's nothing to do with anybody else. It's to do with my own ability, strength of letting go. So I thought, okay, to live a luxurious life, to live luxury in my own heart, in my own self, well-being in my own self, is to be able to strengthen or improve my ability to let go. You start with something minor. You can start deliberately. You can start something intentionally. We hold on to the attachment to, for example, as Luang Por Sumedho says, attachment to views, what we think. What we think so much kills us, so much suffering, because what I think is right, and my rightness has to prevail. My rightness has to be acknowledged. My rightness has to be praised. And when my rightness is not acknowledged, when it's not praised, I can see that attachment to the rightness really hammers down this inner well-being. You can see you become uncomfortable, lots of discomfort inside, unpeaceful. You don't feel very unpeaceful, not peaceful, restlessness, all the other, if you learned Buddhist text, lots of like 5 hindrances. And so all the 5 hindrances, in fact, it's a product of clinging to anything. It doesn't matter how little or how big. There's a very interesting sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. It's called Latukikopam Sutta. So it's about little bird. You probably remember. So a little bird, tiny little leg tied to a little piece of rock. And like that. So something very minor, very little. You can, it's a tiny little rock. Why can't this little bird fly off? It's only very little, tiny little rock tied to the leg. But for that little bird, it's a huge obstacle. Weight. So weight in the heart is not determined by the size of it. How big or how small, it doesn't matter. It could be a very insignificant amount of attachment, very insignificant amount of attachment. Still, it grows. The attachment is a very interesting phenomena in this system. That's all we know. Anything that we say, we know this, we know that, everything that we know is to attach to. That's the natural mind. The natural talent of the mind is to attach to something. That's the talent. That's the function of normal mind. Anything that we see, anything that we hear, anything that we believe, think, I like it or I dislike it, and you attach to something. If not, no, I don't like any of those. I like only my own. So it's like that, something made out of sticky substance. You try to, if you're stuck with your hands and legs, and you try to remove your hand, and you try with your legs, and your legs get stuck, and you try with the other hand, the other hand gets stuck, and whatever way we struggle, when there's a sticky substance, and all that's going to happen is to getting more and more stuck in it, get deeper, like that. So there's no glory about mind or about being me. There's no glory about being me. That's what I see. I think it's all about this same old attachment to everything. There's nothing in mind can be glorified. There's no glory in mind. It's what we do, just attach to something, and then become thirsty. Attachment creates mind thirsty. When you attach to something, for example, maybe when we are even attached to the idea of freedom, liberation. We're all here to find freedom and liberation. It's a great goal, and it's a wonderful goal in life. Yet, that very liberation, the freedom that we are looking for, is the very thing that creates our own prison sometimes. That's why there's nothing wrong with that. All we need is the observant, by being able to observe. And okay, that's where the mindfulness applies. Awareness, mindfulness, be the knower of the knowing, as Luang Por Sumedho always tells us. Be the knower of the knowing. And the knower is not part of that attachment, that clinging. The knower is not part of that clinging, but maintaining that knower is something. That's where we need real courage to maintain that knower of the attachment. The knower of the attachment. Okay, I can see the attachment. I'm the knower of this attachment. That knower, maintaining that. What we call mindfulness, awareness, maintaining that knower requires lots of courage. I would say practice, constant application of practice, mindfulness, and dedication. So sometimes that's why you just took your precepts this evening. For some people, maybe it's a very new, not very familiar territory to take precepts and discipline, because we think freedom is about being able to do whatever I can do. It will become one day, once you realize the real freedom, then you become freedom, and you realize the territory of freedom. You can never transgress that, trespass that. But until that, the precepts, discipline is very important, because, like I said, human mind, anything that human mind knows is clinging. That's the function, only function. That's why I thought, this is about myself. There's no glory in being Vinīta. There's no glory in being me, because my nature is just clinging to everything. But I know that, okay? I know that. And all I can do is to live a luxurious life, to develop the skill of letting go. Okay? It's tough, it's hard. Heart is crying, no, I want that. Like that, no. But be the knower. I'm not fighting you. There's no fight with clinging. I'm not fighting the clinging. I cannot fight myself. How can I fight myself? I won't win. I won't have a victory fighting myself. But I know myself. And that's the skill to develop. Not fighting myself, but to know myself. The fighting myself is a battle that I will never win my whole life. Even if I live for a million years, the fighting over myself, I will only beat myself, and I will never have the victory. But to be the one who knows myself, to be the one who understands myself, to be the one who knows the knower, is the skill that, as a monk, as a practitioner, as a disciple of the Buddha, I could develop for the benefit of myself and the world. There's nothing I can do after taking this life myself. So, and we were talking about the precepts, the benefit of precepts. Sometimes letting go is not an option. In many times, letting go is not an option, because if we are stuck between two options, there's something I like, I want to cling on to that. The choices between clinging and letting go, we naturally choose clinging. That's the option. So, but that's why Buddha was genius. It's absolutely genius. So why he was genius, he knew if we give the option, the nature of the option, people choose the clinging. The mind chooses the clinging, not the letting go, because we still don't know the benefit or the luxury of letting go. So that's why he's called, ocean-like compassion. He had ocean-like compassion. He didn't push people to do that, but he created this discipline or rules, or the precepts. So once you keep the precepts, you have no choice. The choice is that which I would create a word like clingable, or something in that which has to be clung to, has to be let go. Because there's no choice when you keep the precepts. For example, maybe eating at inappropriate times, for example. For as monks, the best appetite comes after 6 p.m. But we have no choice. We have no choice. We practice letting go of that. That clinging. So it becomes natural to you after a while. Then after a long time, you start to appreciate. As I didn't think much of it, but over the time, because I practiced that precept, and my clinging level to food, to taste, I can deal with it. I can deal with it. I can live with it. You become more at ease with yourself over the time by practicing precepts. Not at the beginning, but that's why Buddha's teaching is not about believing. It's about proving, being witnessing. You witness yourself that this has a benefit. Okay, you witness. We make mistakes until we witness that it's being witnessed. Until that we fail. We stumble. And we get up and reaffirm and break it again, and we get up again. That's why sometimes putting yourself into that choiceless situation is also a very skillful thing to do. Like precepts, for example, putting yourself into precepts. Okay, I live on 10 precepts or 8 precepts for a week, and see how my craving, clinging, destroying me, consuming me. It's my own cravings consuming me, my own craving and anger and lust and jealousy. They are consuming this being. That being consumed by greed and craving and lust and anger is not a luxurious way of living. It's a very difficult, tedious, and dukkha way of living. That's called suffering. So that's why Buddha based his teaching on suffering, on dukkha, because the mind is inherently, naturally, only inclined to cling. That's the entertainment. That's what mind naturally does. Like I said, don't think, we don't need to do anything against that, but because we cannot fight our own self, but we can understand ourselves. We can see ourselves rather than fighting ourselves. Buddha, his teaching is not about fighting oneself, which is impossible. Sakkaya Ditthi cannot be fought by Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi cannot be fought with Sakkaya Ditthi. It never happens. Only Sakkaya Ditthi wins. The two enemies fight each other, either enemy is going to win. Just like that, Sakkaya Ditthi cannot attack another Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi is the identification to the self. It's called Sakkaya Ditthi. So the view of self and me and me and me. So that's Sakkaya Ditthi in brief. So fighting one's own Sakkaya Ditthi is not possible. What we can do, only thing we can do to end the Sakkaya Ditthi is develop the skill to let go of Sakkaya Ditthi slowly, by understanding, through understanding oneself. Once you understand how it works, how Sakkaya Ditthi works, how clinging works, okay, it's nothing that I can fight, but I can see and I can let it drop by itself without having a fight. So that takes lots of patience, lots of time, and don't rush. Don't hurry yourself, even to reach your freedom. It takes its own time, because we are, since the birth, we are programmed, we are planned, we are built to entertain ourselves with clingings. So that's why it's very important. That's why practice comes becomes part of freedom and letting go. So the Buddha said, once heart is fully free, let go of things, and practice is end. That's the end of the practice. There's no more to practice. Then precepts, rules, vinaya, patimokkha becomes something done. But until it is done, the most skillful way for human existence is keeping contain oneself within the precepts and some amount of discipline in life. Like I said, like not eating in the afternoon, for example. We have big larder there. But we can go to the larder and then look at it and see what's going to have for tomorrow. You people, you keep 8 precepts, most of you. But you naturally don't go there to get something and have a snack and eat, because you put yourself into a situation that you have no choice. Sometimes putting yourself in the situation of no choice has its benefit. It's, mind can rebel. Mind is very rebellious because mind believes clinging, and clinging is entertaining. That entertainment is what we are. So that's why I say there's no glory in entertaining mind with clinging, with craving. But the real glory comes when you see a little bit of letting go, how free you can suddenly feel by understanding, knowing yourself, seeing yourself, see yourself. And then you feel the glory. Oh, it's only if there's anything to feel glory about life is being able to seeing a little bit of letting go, and then how relaxed and easy heart becomes. I thought a few times, many times actually, luxury. I don't believe luxury in anything else anymore. I believe in luxury only in my own heart. That's only I'm now nowhere near there yet, but just practicing, developing the skill to let go. Because heart is the object that clings to everything. You feel it, when you cling on to something, you feel it. And letting go, okay, you have to work without a fight. Letting go happens without a fight. If you fight your letting go, you cannot fight your sakkaya ditthi by creating another sakkaya ditthi. But just patience, lots of patience, just wait. Lots of patience, stay with your body, be mindful of your body. When you walk, when you sit, and stay with your body, and don't trust too much of the mind. Stay with the body, stay with the breath. And it's about focusing. It's a focal. Where mindfulness is probably 90% of mindfulness, as my experience is about the focus, where my mind is focused. It's not about every single moment trying, but my focus is something else. My focal is somewhere else. I need to do that, but I'm practicing my mindfulness on the body, and I'm trying, but my focal is elsewhere. It doesn't do only you get so tired, end of the day, you feel like have done nothing except being tired. But if you have right focus, that kind of effortless focus on yourself, that effortless mindful focus on yourself without too much trying, all we need is that focal point. my focus. I'm focused on where my mind is focused. It's on my body or mind, or for satipatthanas. So kaya anupassana, vedana anupassana, chitta anupassana, dhamma anupassana, either one of these. You're focused on your body, as you walk, as you sit, as you lying down, whatever, you focused. That's all. That word we use, be focused, focus yourself. You have good focus on your mind or your body or your feelings. But then it becomes an effortless way to understand what exists, or oneself, yourself. Then we can somehow, little by little, experience or see the real, the joy, the luxury, the comfort level increases. The comfort level of the heart increases. Clinging onto something, the comfort level of the heart decreases. It doesn't matter what. Sometimes in Sri Lanka we say, I'm sure in English language same. Pihirat rangunat anagattot kapenon. That means even if you make a dagger out of gold, but still it can kill you. If you stab, even if the knife is made of gold, still it cuts and it hurts you. So sometimes we have the best thought in the world, the best thought in the world, even though how good, how great, how holy that thought is, if we cling on to that thought, even the Buddha himself, even the Dhamma, what we call, even any Paticcasamuppada or Noble Eightfold Path, we hold on to the concept, just cling on to something. That clinging itself is so tiresome. It makes you so tired and get fed up in the end. No, this is not going to work, and I don't think this path is not working. Why it doesn't work? Because we cling on to that path. We're not treading on the path, but cling on to the path. So, that's why these precepts, and we bhikkhus, we monks have these patimokkha, and nuns have their own the rules and patimokkha. We practice these rules. We make ourselves into the right choice. Like I said, two choices: the choice to cling on to something, and choice to let go of clinging. So if there's any best choice, that's where this faith or trust comes. The trust comes because I choose the choice of letting go because I haven't done it yet myself. I haven't seen the benefit of it, but I have little trust. Buddha may have done it, or other people who are more, wise or have wisdom may have done it. So I have little trust. So I put myself into that choice, the choice of no choice. No choice to cling on to something. So no choice for clinging, but there's choice for letting go of clinging. So that's what the precepts, every time when I hear taking precepts, I feel so kind of joyful, people taking precepts. Of course, it's only a vehicle, only a vehicle to go somewhere. We need a vehicle to go somewhere. It's only a vehicle, of course. One day you have reached your freedom, so you're not going to carry your vehicle on your back. So you let that go as well. You go on your own way. So yes, that's why people ask me a lot about tudong. I go lots of tudong, so which means a lot to me. I learned a lot by going on tudong. I walk with my backpack. Tudong is something that monks practice. That in the West is not a Buddhist culture. But we still practice because we don't have any money, we don't have any possession as such, credit card or anything. So we take our backpack and the tent and we walk through the villages, towns, and one of why it's really productive to me was still is. I put myself in no choice situation. No choice. Only choice is to let go every day. And then you can learn how to let go even. You can learn how to let go. It's also a skill to learn. Okay, you learn how to let go. Okay, you walk on tudong and go somewhere, have no clue where you're going to sleep. One of the places I really like sleeping is a cemetery, the church cemetery, and also feeling that you wake up in the morning and sit and open the tent door and then look at all these tombstones, and I feel so much love for all these humanity, human beings. Like these humans were once upon a time, were walking among us. They all had the cravings that I have. They all had the anger that I have. And they all had the jealous and strong opinions and strong beliefs and thoughts and what is right and what is wrong. And I'm sharing the same experience with them because I have all of those. And right now they're resting in peace in that little perch, little piece of land. And one day I'll be the same. So what is the difference? So I feel so much love and connection for this in a cemetery, sleeping in the cemetery. So much beauty in it, and being able to connect to those human beings just like me, and sometimes I pay respect to the cemetery. It's my respect to you people, and because it's me, it's nothing else. And and then you wake up in the morning and have absolutely no idea whether I'm going to get something to eat today or not. And there's no clue. So get up and wake up and no breakfast and just nothing, no coffee or anything, and just drink water. Sometimes very cold, and drink water and slowly get ready and you walk, and no choice. But funny thing, I don't miss Amaravati either. I was talking the other day, walking with some of my team down in the field, and someone asked, do you miss, when you walk, do you miss Amaravati? Of course, I miss the mealtime sometimes, but the more and more time I spend in the on roads, after about a week, I don't even remember. I thought, is there something wrong with me? I thought, no, it's my brethren, my brothers and sisters. I love them. I live with them. Why don't I miss them? So, but it's the joy of learning to live the day, face the day, and that facing is letting go. The food is a very basic requirement in life. When you're not sure you're not going to eat, it's a very different level of fear. So then I can see myself, all the tricks that my mind is playing, oh, go and knock on that door, they look kind of kind, knock on that door, maybe just explain yourself, maybe just, play the innocence, or, play the helpless, I'm just a poor monk walking, kind of play the tricks with words, and then I can see that fear is talking to me, the fear of hunger. The life, fear. We are so driven by fear, not being able to let go of that fear. So, driven by this fear. Like I said, what I learned, I don't fight myself. It is a failure. I tried, and it's only ended up in failure for years. So I can't fight myself, but I can listen to myself. I tell myself all the time, I am my best listener. I don't do anything to you, but I'm a good listener to you. I listen to you. I mean myself. So becoming a good listener to myself is the best service that I can do to myself in order to understand better part of me. Listen, we don't listen to ourselves. We block, we dismiss ourselves. No, I don't. I want to. No, we don't listen to ourselves enough. That listening takes lots of. That's what meditation is. We listen to ourselves. Listen to our cravings, our clingings, and jealousies, and lust, or greed, and fear of hunger. Listen, okay? Listen. The best thing we can do to ourselves as practitioners, listen to ourselves. Because in the latest science, they say the psychology, they believe listening is healing. You don't need to talk to someone. We are ready to talk anytime, but ready to listen. So I'm ready to talk to myself anytime, give opinions, and tell me what to do. But how much am I ready to listen to myself? So listening actually very soothing, and it by itself, just by listening, by itself, it sorts out its own problems. Just listening to the voice, without controlling, without trying to manipulate anything. And no matter how great the jealous, or how great the fear, how great the anger is, listen. Okay, I can listen. You're really, really, really angry. I can hear you. Yeah, I hear you. You're really unbearably angry. Yeah, I can hear you. And by itself, it learns to deal with it on its own way, without a fight. So then there's no fight, but you become a good listener, and you can deal with it without having a fight. Because fight, an unwinnable fight. So Sakkaya Ditthi cannot fight another Sakkaya Ditthi for a win. So always end up in failure. So many people ask in many ways, why, especially my own, fellow Sri Lankans ask me, what does it mean you go, does it do anything? I said, please don't ask that question. I cannot explain. I cannot explain. But, I try to find the shortest answer for that is putting myself in only one choice. That choice is I have to let go. There's no other choice. So even that wouldn't make sense to many people. So why you have to do that? So anyway, so while you have everything, why you have to choose? You have the better choice, and you choose the lower choice or another choice, letting go. Why you have to choose the difficult path while you're having the easy path? It's nothing to do with difficult or easy. It's to do with comfort and luxury. So the way I found living a comfortable life in my own heart or my own being is putting myself. If I cannot do it, I have to put myself in that situation of letting go. I have to let go. There's no other choice. And then you will see the benefit. Oh, okay, I didn't like it at the beginning, but once you experience at least a little bit of it, the joy of releasing all these tightness of the heart, and then okay, I like it. That's comfortable, luxurious. I don't need anything. I don't need to depend on anybody's confirmation, affirmation, praise, or anything. But I can live on only one thing: is letting go. That's the only thing that I trust. Letting go, being able to developing the skill of letting go, not needing anything, but letting go of tightness, letting go of clinging. In fact, it's clinging. Not anything, but letting go of clinging, or anything that distract or obstruct the comfortable life. So this is me for today, and I really today I feel very privileged to be able to give this talk, because I highly respect the Queen, because her life and she's a very remarkable human being, and so being able to talk her last night tonight in this land. So tomorrow will be her funeral. So I dedicate my this talk and everything to the late Queen, Her Majesty the Queen.